So then, what has been Attack on Titan's most controversial moment? Yo, what's good, it's your boy to the views, and heavy spoilers for the Attack on Titan anime, basically seasons 1 to 4, you have been warned. So then, Attack on Titan is about to come to an end in a couple of months with the final episode, and while this is definitely one of the most beloved anime, it hasn't escaped some of the controversies that have surrounded it over the years. So with that said, I decided to rank the top 5 most controversial moments. I will keep this anime only friendly, so without further ado, let's do this. Number 5, the 4-year wait for season 2. When Attack on Titan really blew up the anime community in 2013, people were hyped, excited, and wanted more AOT content. Unless you read the manga or watched some of the OVAs that did come out, you had to wait 4 years for season 2 to come out. And I do remember a lot of people not being specifically happy with that long wait, especially when we finally got season 2, and season 2 was only confirmed for 12 episodes. I remember at the time people were falling out of love with AOT as it was such a long time since season 1 came out, and people being mad that despite the long wait they still use CGI for the Colossal Titan. I mean, that season was beautiful, mate. Just that one aspect which was barely in the show for like 5 minutes and people were mad about it. What do I think of the long wait? Well, personally, I wasn't too bothered by it because I ended up reading the manga during this wait, so I still had AOT content to consume, but my heart did go out to the anime onlys that chose to wait that long gap. Number 4, Gabby kills Sasha. Oh my gosh, I remember the day this happened in the manga and in the anime, and people were not happy at all. I remember there was a big divide on whether or not Gabby was in the right or wrong. You had those on the left saying that Gabby's just an innocent child of war. She saw her friends get killed by Sasha, the 2 Malian dudes that could have hated her because they're Malian but chose to love her. Yeah, you have the right saying that Gabby is an insufferable brat and Sasha was best girl who didn't deserve the cruelty, being gunned down by an enemy in a foreign land. It got so bad to the point that some people even harassed the voice actress of Gabby, which in my opinion is just a big fat no-no. Why would you do that? Personally, I'm more on the left. I do understand why Gabby did what she did, and if you were in her shoes, I'm sure you guys might have done that or been more or less like Falco. I suppose it depends on your personality and what you're willing to do to get revenge. Gabby as an entire character is pretty damn controversial within the fan base. At number 3, we have the whole debate on whether or not Eren is in the right or wrong in season 4 for what he's done, and whose side are you really on? Are you a Jaegerist or are you part of the Alliance? So many online debates on whether or not Eren is doing the right thing or the wrong thing, whether you're for or against the rumbling. I remember listening to a podcast where 2 dudes were on the left and right side of whether or not Eren was doing the right or wrong thing, and that argument got pretty damn heated. I remember it being pretty damn uncomfortable listening to them talk because it got really aggressive, and yeah, people really have strong opinions regarding this. Yes, Eren is killing millions and millions of innocent civilians, forced his friends to attack Mali with him in season 4, and he's making a lot of people suffer, and he's just killing people left, right and center all over the world. But at the same time, can you blame the dude? Seeing all of his friends and family die in front of him, I mean, he feels like he has to do something, and people telling him time and time again through the first 3 seasons that he's the savior of humanity and he needs to do something about it. Can you blame the dude for doing what he did? To rise above monsters, you must first abandon your humanity. That's what Armin used to say over and over again in the first season, and our boy Eren Jaeger took that to heart, and now Armin's like, ooh, I think he's going a little bit too far. Just turn it down, Eren, tone it down. At number 2, we have the studio change of Wit Studio to MARPA for season 4. Definitely one of the biggest controversies to come out from Attack on Titan is MARPA's adaptation of Attack on Titan. I think the gripe that a lot of people had with MARPA was the use of CGI for the Titan fights. People being disappointed that the art style didn't resemble Wit Studios and the art was inconsistent for some of part 1 of season 4. In my opinion, it didn't look bad, it looked pretty damn good, and it got so bad to the point that people were harassing the directors and animators. MARPA makes multiple statements saying not to harass anyone, and man, it was a pretty toxic time to be an AOT fan. I remember the day the Warhammer Titan episode came out, and the moment Eren transformed into the Attack Titan and ate Willy Tiber and I saw that he was CGI, I knew people people were going to hate it. I just knew it. Because that's what anime fans are like sometimes. They just don't want to see CGI in anime, dude. I remember Mikasa's face was a big talking point. Yeah, it was just really toxic, dude. I mean, you couldn't have a pretty calm, honest conversation with anyone. It was either like, how dare you hate MARPA, or how dare you love MARPA. It was yikes. Ugh, what a time to be alive. Fortunately, the art and animation did improve over time, and people have more or less calmed down on the MARPA hate, even though there's still a lot of people that still hate on MARPA. What do I think of the whole MARPA situation right now after 3 years of them taking over Attack on Titan? I still love their art and animation. I like the dark art style, and I personally feel like it fits the vibe and story of season 4 in the manga. And I don't think the CGI looks that bad. I think people were overreacting, dude. I've watched those episodes multiple times and I still think it looks pretty damn good. I mean, constructive criticism is necessary, but just being downright hateful and abusive online,
that's no good.
Before we talk about number 1, let's give some honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions. Season 3 had some manga cut from it, and it's not a big controversy, but I wanted to talk about it because some people weren't too happy about certain things that were cut out. There were some scenes of Levi and his story that were cut out that some fans were not happy about, but overall I felt like it helped the pacing of the story. Personally, season 3's manga arc was pretty damn slow and sluggish, and Isayama himself requested Wit Studio to cut certain moments, and if the GOAT Isayama requested it, then you just have to accept it, dude. The basement reveal. It's not a big controversy, but I do know some people that dropped AOT when they reached the basement and didn't like the direction it was going down. Even when I first read the basement reveal in the manga, I too felt quite mixed about it. I wasn't quite sure how to feel about it, but after multiple rereads, I have come to appreciate it for what it is. It takes the story into a whole new direction and makes it more interesting and engaging to watch and read. And the last of the honorable mentions, the first 5 episodes of season 4. Where's Eren and Armin and Mikasa? Who's Gabby and Falco and Udo and Zofia? Some people were not too keen on the first couple of episodes not having our main protagonists. It's a bit ironic that people were criticizing the anime onlys for not being patient enough to wait for our main heroes to arrive, yet those same manga readers were also impatient, and some of them disliked the whole idea of focusing on Gabby and Reiner. What do I think of it? I personally do like it now. In a way, it kind of makes our heroes look like the bad guys. I like how they sort of portrayed our heroes as the antagonists, and it made the story really morally grey. Who's really in the right or wrong, dude? The never-ending final season that a lot of anime onlys have been calling this. I think everyone knew that part 2 was coming, but for there to be a part 3 and then for part 3 to be split into 2 parts, yeah, there were a lot of fans who were not too happy, with some feeling that Attack on Titan's legacy is being ruined, and some people feeling like their emotional investment is completely gone, as some fans feel like they're being lied to when they sort of get invested into the final season when it's not really the final season. But coming in at number 1, the manga ending, chapter 139, the end of Attack on Titan. Now, I know a lot of anime onlys will be watching this video, so I will not talk anything plot related to the manga unless you have been living under a rock. It's pretty much common knowledge that the Attack on Titan ending has been pretty damn polarizing. Over time, it's gotten mixed reviews, but I remember the day I first read the manga ending and I saw on Twitter what people thought about it, and when it was initially coming out, it was pretty mixed, but then literally 2 days later, when a lot of people started reading the official translations, people were not happy with the ending, and yeah, it was a pretty toxic time to be an AOT fan, and it was a pretty unfortunate time, you know? This was meant to be a celebration of Attack on Titan. It was meant to be a time where we looked back on the show and said goodbye to these characters, but all people had to say was how much they hated it and how it ruined certain characters and themes and all that jazz. Certain big YouTubers that I follow, even to this day, really hated the ending, and it honestly surprised me because these guys were bigger AOT fans than me. They bought the manga, they watched the anime multiple times, and these guys had a better knowledge and understanding of the world of Attack on Titan than I did at the time, yet they still hated the ending. I thought it was sad because I couldn't really express how much I liked certain aspects of the ending without people just talking about all the negativity. Yes, I must admit that the ending did feel rushed. I think that's definitely one of the biggest things with the ending that people were not happy with, but overall overall, it was an emotional farewell to the series, and I was not a fan of some of the people sending death threats to Isayama at the time and people hating on him. It got so bad to the point where Isayama had to attend the Anime NYC Expo Con place and apologize to the fans for the ending, and he got a bit teary-eyed, and it was sad, you know? Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen such intense backlash or polarizing opinions towards an ending of a manga as much as AOT. People's opinions were wild. Some say that the ending was good, some say it ruined the story overall, but I think at the end of the day, people just view AOT differently to other people. I think with the manga ending and with the whole MARPA takeover of Attack on Titan, I think it's okay to have your opinions and to give your honest thoughts about it, but don't be a bit of a jerk about it. Be kind to one another, and whether you like or hate something, always know at the end of the day that it's fiction and it's not worth upsetting someone's feelings over it. But I could be wrong. Tell me in the comments down below what you guys thought of this ranking list. What do you think is the most controversial thing to happen in Attack on Titan? Whether that's the anime or the manga. Did I miss any out? Tell me. Like this video, subscribe for more Attack on Titan reactions, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings and more. But thank you for watching, and as always, a boy do the view signing out.